Okay, mic's on. And hello and welcome to the Pokemon Temple Nuzlocke second attempt. If you just came over from the other stream and see this, then yeah, then you know that attempt didn't end too well. Sorry to say it, but when a starter end up dying that early, then it's bound to happen. Then sure, you have to. But yeah, everyone call me the Pokemon Professor. And why are you wearing a lab coat? This is what we call a Pokemon. No, that's a Lotad. This world is widely inhabited by creatures known as Pokemon. We humans live alongside Pokemon, at times as friendly playmates and at times as cooperative workmates. And sometimes we band together and battle others like us. But despite our closeness, we don't know everything about Pokemon. In fact, there are many secrets around the Pokemon. To unravel mysteries, I've been undertaking research. Meaning you have to go to the field. Then why are you wearing a lab coat? I mean, I've been working in labs more times than not. And with that, you have to wear a lab coat. Mostly when you are working GMO labs. Because you're working with chemicals. And sometimes quite dangerous things. I have worked before with pathogenic bacteria before, and the fungi, and with viruses. So yeah, I know what I'm talking about. And by the way, if you are going to work in a lab that requires you to wear a lab coat, cover your arms, legs, and feet. That's a security. Please. That's what I do. Just don't take me up on any lab security or work effort, since I just... who cares? I just get undergraduates to do my work. Just like a real professor. And you all... Are you a boy or are you a girl? Did you just assume my gender? No, I'm not gonna play that card, sorry. But seriously, fuck everyone who plays that card. It's so fucking sickening. But yeah, I'm a boy, and if you're offended by what I just said, it's kind of sickening to listen to day in and day out, especially on universities. Okay, just like before, I just call myself Alex. Sure. So it's Alex. Did you just assume my name? No, you told your name. Oh, you just assumed I told you my true name. It's actually 6 up for the Flaggedy Fox. And don't you dare try to address it. Can't pronounce it all and write it. The alcohol's getting to me. Okay. You're Alex who moved to my hometown of Little Root. I get it now. That's thing to imagine, because what if you moved to Little Root But you didn't want to move to Littleroot, so you underwent your adventure to go home. I mean, as far as we get in the story, we just settle down in Littleroot to just go for to the area where our dad was. But did we want to go to Littleroot? Alright, are you ready? Your very own adventure is about to unfold. Take courage and leap into the world of Pokemon, where dreams, adventure, and friendships await. Well, I'll be expecting you later. Come see me in my Pokemon lab, where I don't need to wear a lab coat at all, but it makes me look like a professor. Yeah, sorry, I know it's a little bit of a nitpick, but if you have worked in a lab and know the security measures, you know what it means how necessary it is to work with a lab coat on. And if you want to say anything, I'll be looking at the chat while I play here, and don't be shy about writing anything at all. I'll be reading it. Depending on how many that comes writing, I might not get to read everything while I stream, but I will definitely read. I will definitely look at the chat once in a while. So feel free to write while I play. So it must be tiring writing all things in the moving truck. Well, this is Little Town. How do you like it? This is our new home. I hate it. Get me home. It's quite quaint, but it seems to be an easy place to live, don't you think? I'd rather have my own place too. I'd rather be back home. And yet you got your own room, Alex. Let's go outside. Even though I don't get my room at all, I have to sleep at the Pokemon Center. And this is still something that's a little bit awkward for me to see. Why is it Vigoroths doing the moving? Aren't the character wild by nature? I mean, in the original Sapphire Ruby and even in Alpha Sapphire and Alpha Ruby, it's supposed to be matchups. They at least seem to be quite tame, even though they're muscular. I just don't get why it's supposed to be Vigoroths. They're only lazy both in their previous states as Slackoffs and in their later stage as Slackings. So this time I better check the item store and get the potion out. Yeah, it might be a good thing so I don't get another early ended nuzlocke. So let's see, what time do we have here? PM, it's past midday, I guess. I don't know. I don't live in the country where I live. We are not working on the AM PM times. We're working in the military settings. So yeah, it's kind of late at night here. So I guess this would be it. It's almost half midnight. So, oh Alex, how do you like your new room? Good, everything's put neatly into place. Let's finish moving everything downstairs too. Pokemon movers are so convenient. Some of us call them slaves. And let's just not say them all too much. Oh, you should have made sure that everything all there on your desk. Pokemon start, record save. So just open menu and click to save. Good luck adventuring, kid! Oh fuck. Oh Alex, quick, come quickly! Look, it's Petalburg City. Maybe Dax is on. Oh, Dad! I haven't seen Dad in 13 years. And I'm only 10 years old! Oh! So, just tell my mom how it happened. Oh. We brought you this report in front of Petalburg Gym. Oh, so my dad is the interviewer. Oh, it's over. I think Dad was on, but we missed it. Too bad. Oh yes, one of Dad's friends lives in town. Professor Bush is his name. I see him quite regularly, even out of time. Don't tell anyone. Okay. He lives quite next door, so you're gonna I'll see out his daughter. He should be quite fine. Yeah. And yeah, if you can see here in the slab, just like everyone else, he's not here. Just this one. Huh? Professor Birch? The professor away on field work. Ergo, he isn't here. If he's out on field work, then why does he have a lab coat on? I mean, come on. Lab coats are supposed to be like a working uniform once you're in the lab. And hell, that's when you're working in chemistry and biological labs and DMO labs, because that's when you have the most dangerous liquids around. I mean, can anyone in the chat actually say if there are any professions where a lab coat is a proficient uniform to have on that is not in chemistry? Okay, doctors, sure, doctors. Fair enough, my bad. Doctors, veterinarians, professions like that, they can have a lab coat on, but veterinarians, doctors, chemists, and biologists. Who else need a lab coat? Come on, can someone say if anyone needs a lab coat in any other working environment? Apothecary. Oh yeah, apothecaries, I think needs to. Yeah. It is to study things in the natural environment, like mountain fields, and instead of laboratory. No shit, Sherlock. I think that's in scientific terms is called in natura. I think just like there are in scientific terms when you work in closed system in petri dishes, like in vivo, or rather in the organism in vivo. And if it's in glass, then it's in vitro. If it's like computer models, it's in silico. I think it's called in natural if it's in natural environments, but I'm a little bit rusty on that part. But yeah. For anyone who just logged in here, yeah, it has been quite a long time, and yeah, I haven't had a lot of projects running for quite a number of years now. And yeah, quite a number of things have happened. I have had quite a number of real-life project studies to attend to. I have burned through 2 hard disks where the animation bits were on, and the video footage, gameplay footage, and my scripts were on one of the earlier hard disks, so I lost everything there. And I actually got a BA degree in biotechnological engineering, so yeah, and I'm currently starting a master degree in bioinformatics and system biology. that I'm adding above, so yeah. And who the fuck are you? Do you already have your own Pokemon? Let me ask you, who the fuck are you? Is that like a sibling? Adoptive brother? What? Oh, it's not a note. It's not a diary. A trainer's explicitly tested on moveset chosen by the Pokemon. I'm fucking around with her stuff right now. Let's see how much I can fuck around with her stuff before she reacts. Oh, what's this little buzzing thing on the floor? Oh, she reacted to that one. Can you explain to me what this little buzz is on the floor? It's quite annoying and it's oddly shaped. Oh, hi May! Hi May! I'm glad to meet you too. I had this dream of becoming friends with Pokemon all over the world. I heard about you, Alex, from Professor Birch. I was hoping that you would be nice, Alex, and that we could become friends. Oh, yes, isn't it? I just met you, Alex. Yay! Oh no, I forgot I was supposed to have that kind of Pokemon. Alex, I'll catch you later. I didn't even have a word to say in that regard. And by the way, if you're supposed to help your dad catch wild Pokemon, what the fuck are you doing in your own room then? Aren't you supposed to help your dad? Oh, yeah. We never know what's inside the Pokeball, eh? Okay. Sorry, it's the alcohol talking. Sure. Oh, hi. There's scary Pokemon outside. I can hear the cries. I want to go see what's going on, but I don't have any Pokemon. Can you go see what's happening for me? And I don't know why I have this deep voice of mine. Okay. This time I'm actually going to see my ID and see what's You know what? This is a 0, so I'm gonna do another dice throw. I'm just gonna go find my D4 once again. A 6 ago? I know I said it in the previous stream, but a 6 ago? Really? I mean, in every of the other games you've been chased by a Poochyena, a Machoke, and a Spike. But now a 6 ago? Really? I am sorry, Nancy, but I can't understand Spanish or Portuguese. I'm so sorry. If you want to say that, write that in English, that would be great, because I don't understand what you want to write, what you want to say. Sorry, Nancy. It's very nice that you are on the stream, but I don't understand what you're trying to say. But anyway, I got a D4 here. I'm going to throw it, and if it's 1, it's a Trico. If it's 2, it's Torchic. If it's 3, it's going to be Mudkip. and it's 4, it's a reroll. So it's a 2. So it's a Torchic. So it's going to be a Torchic this time. Yes, I tried to go for the ID, but the ID ended in 0, so it was a little bit difficult to determine from there. That's why I included the D1 dice. Yes, I play Dungeons and Dragons, don't judge me. Well, then, let's try and see what this little Zigzagoon can handle. Oh, what's a cute little one. Scratch it! Oi, 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 oi. Did you just tackle this chicken? You dare not attack the mighty chicken! Power Santos, what do you mean by good, really? You're pretty much the only one that I've been able to read so far on this stream, but on the other hand, I've pretty much only just started this one. Inchipendio. Can you speak English? Do you speak English? I'm sorry, I don't understand either Spanish or Portuguese. If you want to write something, please do it in English. I'm more fluently in English than in Spanish or Portuguese. You. I was in the tall grass starting wild Pokemon when I was jumped. While wearing a lab coat. I know I've been harping on this a lot, but a lab coat? Really? A lab coat is supposed to be limited to the laboratory where it's supposed to protect you against the volatile liquids and chemicals that you are in contact with, like, let's say, acids. Oh yeah, you can get in contact with some really nasty acids in a laboratory. So, yeah. Why are you having that on in the wild? You saved me! You saved me! Kinda sounds like a princess like that. Thank you! Oh, thanks, Link! Oh, hi. You're Alex. This is not the place to chat, so come by my Pokemon lab later, okay? And I don't know why I just hit puberty like that. So, Alex, now just gone out of puberty, let's just say that I'm so happy that you came to rescue me and that you just came to choose a good Pokemon to use a battle with that I otherwise had to use to get give to other trainers like that. But no, nonetheless, since you did my work for me, let's just say that you get it for free, okay? Yeah? And seriously, is a plume actually a word? Anyone in the chat, is a plume A-P-L-O-M-B a word, and what does it mean? Because I don't. English is not my native language, even though I'm quite fluent in English. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, thanks, Nicholas. Yes, I can understand that it's a real word, that a plume is a real word, but what does it mean? Anyway, if any of you know what it means, please tell me. Please tell me in the chat. I really want to know. I guess you have your father's blood in your veins after all. Well, please tell me. I haven't seen my father in 13 years. And since I'm only starting my Pokemon Quest right now, I'm only 10 years old. Okay, Nicholas. Self-confidence or assurance, especially when in demanding situations. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense in context of that sentence. Thank you very much, Nicholas. That's quite helping. The more you know. That would mean that you can also learn something from a stream once in a while. Surprise. Thanks a lot, Nicholas. I owe you one. Oh yes, and thanks for rescuing me. I'd like to have you this Pokemon that I give you, so you can be my undergraduate and do my work for you, just like a real life professor. And I received a Torchic. And okay, it is a nuzlocke, so I have to give it a name. So, chat, now I'll give you the chance. Should I name it LOL, like before? Should I name it Blazen, like in my first nuzlocke that I did not streaming? Or do you have any other suggestions? Let me hear. Because LOL was kinda nice. Nice name to call it. Lord of LOL. That could also be something. Fair enough, I'm calling it LOL again. There's almost no space to call it Lord of LOLs. Oh hell, I'm calling it Lord of LOL. I know it doesn't look pretty, but fuck it. My kid May is also starting Pokemon while helping me out. Alex, don't you think it might be a good idea to see May? Given that I just passed through her room and found some questionable things in her room, I don't think that she might be in a particularly good mood to actually help me out, but maybe. I might never say no to a helping hand, especially from a professor demanding me like an undergraduate. But yeah, while I'm streaming, so yeah, hi everyone on the stream. I'm pretty new to streaming here, so let me know if there's something special that you want from me. Anything really. Might be willing to deliver within reasons. Really, I mostly have options to stream kind of retro games. So yeah, now we go out to our new adventure, and let's see. Wild Pokemon will jump out at you in tall grass. If you want to catch Pokemon, you have to go into the tall grass and search. Kid, you look significantly younger than I am. Why are you in the grass at the time? Please go home, said the 10-year-old. Ooh, new combat! Ooh, new combat for Lord of Lols! Lord of Lol! Show them what you can lol! Sorry, I'm kinda drunk. Sure, maybe I'll say a little 50 Charizard. That would be nice. That would also be kind of a hardcore challenge for me since I'm only starting. That would just be another way to end the Nuzlocke. Challenging the wrong trainer at the time. Okay. So yeah, let's see. What is Lord of Lol? Bold. Okay, so that's definitely one of the defensive natures. So that is defense for physical attack, I guess? That at least explain the high defense and the high special attack. So yeah. I don't think that there was the physical special attack split in this generation, or am I wrong in this one? On this one? No, I'm pretty sure that the physical special attack split were first in Gen 4. It's kind of a long time since I've been on a retrospective like this, so yeah. If Pokemon get tired, take them to a Pokemon Center. There's a Pokemon Center in Old Dale Town right close by. Go there quickly! Take haste! Fly, you fool! I don't know why I'm Gandalf all of a sudden. It's the hormones in the water. That sounds the freaking fox day. Sorry. It was just right for the backbone. Okay. And just healing up before we are ready to go on. But for all of you who were on the other stream, yeah, I can when Teams 4-star streams that they have more people on the stream at a time, because having a stream working while they talk with only one person, it's kind of demanding. That's kind of why I'm interacting with the chat once in a while. And looks like we have another one on the chopping board. And it's female. Let's... Who doesn't watch this? Okay, Lord of Lol, go get him! Go get him! I said, go get him! And bon appetit! Yay! Lord of Lol! And Lord of Lol got a level! Level 6 and a significant boost in attack in comparison to everything else. Oh, no. The special attack split should be in this generation. Otherwise, there shouldn't have been stats for attack, defense, and special attack, special defense. No, the split could still be here, but the subtyping could still be the difference in that. So Nicholas, in the previous stream, you might have been right in that one. I said it before, it's been a long time since I've been retrospecting these games. I've mostly, within the last couple of years, I pretty much only, I think it's the last couple of years, I only stuck to the ORAS games, as in Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire games. But I have to, they are pretty good as far as I would say, especially with the music and graphics, and with the implementation from Gen 6. Holy shit, that's been good. And more meat on the chopping board. Okay, this time I'm not going to challenge her before Lord of Law have reached level 7. Sorry, it's a... But, did you also know, any of you on the stream, that there's also a tabletop Pokemon game for those of you who play tabletop RPGs? There we have Focus Energy. So, at least level 7, so I'm just gonna go down and heal, and then go up and challenge Meg, and hopefully for a victory this time. But yeah, do any of you in the stream actually knew that there is a legitimate Pokemon tabletop game? It's not published, though. It's not under a legal name of Nintendo or Game Freak, but it is still in the same vein as the D&D games. So I found that kinda interesting. And yeah, I do kinda play tabletop D&Ds. I'm kinda new to it. Otherwise, I've been playing LARPing for a long time, but in my early years I was interested in the PC RPGs, so Western RPGs. So in the later years I've been more interested in playing tabletop D&Ds. So that's why I discovered that there actually is a tabletop Pokemon RPG. I haven't tried it. I would like to try it in some way, but sorry, got something in the wolf throat. But I have just been able to find some of the material for it. Oh, hi, May! Hi, May! Let's call this a little rematch. I'll give you a taste of what being a trainer's like. Eat boot daily. Is this still live in the chat right now? Oh, hi, Andre. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the nuzlocke. How are you doing? Sorry, I've just been able to see your comment right now. So, welcome. This is a little nuzlocke of mine where I played as a male and have Lord of Laws here at my site. And hopefully it'll be somewhat better than my last nuzlocke stream, because, yeah, Nicholas, at least you know what happened at that stream. It wasn't pretty. It most certainly wasn't pretty. Okay, that's a good reason why I put out the potion from the computer. So yeah, let's just keep Lord of Lols alive. Focus energy is supposed to give me the higher critical chance, right? I mean, right now you've had 2. Yay, crit hit! Crit hit! No more do you like... I heard you like love, not kids. Now it's when we all close to survive. Oh, yeah. I think you know why my dad has an eye out for you now. Yeah, because I'm cheap child labor. I mean, you just got that Pokemon, but it already likes you. You might be able to befriend any kind of Pokemon easily. Well, it's time to head back to life. There she goes, just walking down the street, singing you a dee 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 bum dee boo. Sorry. It just went off like that. But before anything else happens, I want to heal Lord of Lols. I mean, seriously, he needs it. At least, unlike LOL, Lord of Lols actually survived. Dicks out for Lord of LOL. And sorry that it's not quite an appropriate stream, but it's late at night for me and I'm kinda drunk. It's gonna be one hell of a time for Nintendo right now. Alex, over here! Let's hurry home! Okay. Didn't you need to heal your Mudkip? I mean, it was the only Pokemon that you had. So... you should kinda had a little moment to heal your little Mudkip. There he is, the beauty. The one and only Lord of LOL. And the important thing is, his name is of LOL. So it is Lord of LOL. Not even touching right now. Oh, hi, Alex. I heard you beat Mary on your first try. That's excellent. Unlike that wimp with the Pokemon LOL. May's been helping in my research for a very long time, since I can't pay any other intern. But what the hell, interns are cheap and free anyway. Yeah, not quite lying on that one. As a student and as an intern, I have worked for free on other projects before. Both for professors and for PhD students before, so I know a bit what I'm talking about when I say that. I ordered this for my research, but I think you should have this Pokemon. Yeah, since it's me who's going to do all the field's research, you dig. Sure. Oh, there are reactions. Yeah. Nicholas, let's just say that first attempt didn't happen, just for our sanity's sake. But yeah, otherwise, focus energy used to halve crit chance in Gen 1 because of a programming error. Yeah, it's not unimaginable because Gen 1 had a fuck ton of programming errors and a fuck ton of balancing errors. I mean, holy shit! And now the nuzlocke's begun. I mean, sure, I have some nostalgia towards Gen 1-2 since I started out with it, but even on a objective level, I can't say that neither the Gen 1 generation nor the Gen 1 games were anywhere near the best. So call me out as much as you liked. I'm standing my ground on that one. But yeah, now officially the nuzlocke has begun. I'm sorry, but it's kind of an annoying thing with the live chat on a phone. It doesn't seem to show the newest comments right away. Oh, hi, Mom! Don't you leave town without this running shoes! Just let me give you this running shoes up, Mom! I'm 10 years old, I know how to put on my own shoes. Sure, just let me put on the shoes. No, Mom, I know how to put on shoes. No, Alex, let me put it on. No, you do it, no. Okay, sorry. Okay, and Jason, if you were to make a top 10 pity villains, who would be there? Pity villains means a character who the game considers a villain but has tragic motives for their actions. That could actually be a pretty good topic. Let's see. Tragic motives. Because now this time of day for me might not be the best time to ask that type of question, but it is actually quite a good question to ask when it comes to that. Let's see. I would say maybe Golbez might be on that list, as in Golbez from Final Fantasy IV, since the only reason that he actually became a villain was that he saw his parents die, and that he was manipulated through his grief and rage by Zeromus to actually become a villain like that. So that could be a good contestant as being a pity villain like that. So, but yeah, for Jason, I'm not sure what franchise or game you are talking about. I'm not sure what game you're referring to. It sounds kinda interesting, but not sure. Let's see, the main villain from Locke's Quest, I could also see as a possible pity villain, because he basically just wanted to create life and create a family of his own. So, and I'm not gonna say much more of that one because that would be a spoiler, even though it's a kind of old game. Xenoblade Chronicles. That explains a A lot of it. Here's the thing: I haven't played Xenoblade Chronicles. Sorry to say it, but I am. I'm a student. I'm an engineering student. I don't have quite a lot of money on me. So, yeah. But anyway, guys, I just caught my first Pokemon in the nuzlocke. Any ideas what I should call it? Don't be shy. What should I call the first Pokemon that I caught? Poochyena. In the nuzlocke that I had off screen in Omega Ruby, I called my first Poochyena that I caught for Snuffy, if that could be something. But I'm gonna ask you guys, what do you think I should call the Poochyena? Yeah, I can also understand Count Black as being a possibility for being on that list, but the thing is that Paper Mario was released on the Jason, you come out with quite some good options there. Okay, you were first on the shopping block, so let's call it Rush. So yeah, but yeah, pity villains. It's actually funny that you mentioned Count Black as an option, because if that's the case, then I would also suggest that maybe it's another spoiler for a very old game, but Lady Arabeth from the main Neverwinter Nights main campaign. Yes, it's a spoiler that she turns out to be evil, but she was also a good guy who turned out to be a villain, and quite like Count Black actually. She turned to the, for lack of a better word, dark side, because her lover was unjustly killed because of a persecution after a plague outbreak. To be fair, she was also haunted by dreams afterward, but it was her turn to the dark side was both inspired by her nightmarish manipulation and by her by the betrayal that Neverwinter and the nobility of Neverwinter did towards her lover. I don't know if any of you have played Neverwinter Nights. If not, and you love RPGs, then I would recommend it. It's not a Japanese RPG, it's a Western RPG, and it's old. It's back when BioWare were actually good. Let's say it like that. Gerard from Adventures 2 was a good guy until the Sonic World government killed the crow. That could also be a possibility, but if I had to make a list, I have to include characters from games that I have played, and I'm sorry, I have never had the option to play the Sega Dreamcast. That's just not one of the things that I've been able to. So it sounded like an interesting game when I've heard about it, yes, but it's not been one that I have been somewhat familiar with otherwise. Jason, I love that you actually remember me about my rage about Marshall. Oh, for fuck's sake, it's been a long time. But yeah, Marshall was in a different game altogether. Marshall was in Heroes of Might and Magic 5, which is completely different from the Neverwinter Nights franchise. Not only that, but they have different developers, but it wasn't just on yeah, Jason, but Dreamcast, GameCube, the Wii is not really platforms that I've had access to. I'm sorry. On handhelds, I've had access to the Game Boys and the Nintendo DS consoles. When it came to direct consoles, I've pretty much only had the PS1 and PS2. And then I had the NES in the early days. It's only just now that I've gotten access to a NES Mini that I've been able to play some of the more retro-like games. Otherwise, I've been keeping myself pretty much on the PC type of games. But yeah, if I come up with any other tragic heroes like that, or pity heroes like that, I'm sure I will definitely mention them. But which one would there otherwise be? I'm gonna be honest, chat. I love that you're Nicholas and Jason. I love that you're this active on the stream, because otherwise, as I've said earlier, I would kind of bore myself to death with this. I would have to call up someone else, whom might not even be awake at this hour, and I'll just have to talk them to sleep like this. So I'm really thankful that you're up and willing to chat with me like this. Don't think anything else. I really appreciate it. But yeah, pity villains. Let's see. I don't think that N from the 5th gen would count, so there would be none from the Pokemon franchise at least. I caught you already, so you don't count in a nuzlocke sense, so you're free for me to kill as I see fit. It's only 6 p.m. where you are. Yeah, but where I am, it's already midnight. It's already midnight where I am. I'm talking way over midnight. So at this hour, I'm just happy that someone is up and talking to me like this. So yeah, it might be early for where you are, Jason, but I really enjoy that there's someone else here with me. Especially with such interesting Christians, because now I really have to think about, all the way back from my gaming knowledge, what games would be, what villains would be considered as pity villains as such. There should be a lot of them, really, but for the time being, I don't think I can think of any from games that I have played. There might be, but Jason, I'll have to get you back on that one. But yeah, I'll definitely have to say one thing. Yes, it's been ages since I've been talking about Neverwinter Nights. I'm still playing it. I've been able to get it from GOG, even though their politics is something that I'm a little bit, or their view on gaming journalism, modern day gaming journalism, is something that I'm a little bit iffy about, how apologetic they are to it, but I've still been able to get the game through there, and it plays perfectly. I haven't been able to get the enhanced version of it, but I have been able to finally get the whole package of it. That means that it has both the Shadows of Undrentide and the Kingsmaker expansions. So, and unfortunately I haven't been able to play through the Undrentide, Shadows of Undrentide campaign. I would really love to, but I haven't been able to really. Because basically time and studies. And Jason, because he only did everything he did because he accidentally hit Viola Captavini and the father was a mob boss. Trials and Tribulations. What console is that from? Because it might actually be a game that I'm interested in playing. Jason. If it's a game on a console that I can stream on, then I might end up actually streaming it. And if anything, if I can get everything up and running, I might end up streaming a Heroes of Might and Magic, a Heroes Chronicles, or a Neverwinter Nights game. And yes, I know I've been talking walls up and walls down about it. It's just been... It's been quite a important game in my both young adult years and in my childhood years. I don't want to heal once again. It's... Phoenix Wright 3 for the DS. That could actually be a good one to play. I don't think it's one that I would be able to stream because I don't have a modified DS or a modified 3DS for that matter. But it definitely sounds like a game that I would be interested in playing. The Phoenix Wright's game have been a little bit tough to get through. Did I kill a zigzagoon on this route, or have I just been dreaming? I need you, chat, to remind me of something. The route that I'm on, have I killed a new Pokemon on it already? Or have I just killed Puchiinas? I'm kinda concerned here because if I have accidentally killed a Pokemon that I haven't caught before, then I just missed my chance. Because this is a nuzlocke after all. But that already sounds like an interesting spot to go on. I have already thought about updating some of my old countdowns like that. For instance, my top 10 dragons in gaming, I thought about updating. Yeah, I knew what you meant, Jason. But I have been thinking about updating some of my list beforehand. For instance, my top 10 dragons in gaming, because a lot of the lore that I used there was really limited. I only used like a reference to one myth in European lore and one Serbian fairy tale and a little bit of Asian mythology and Arabian mythology. I could have done more. I seriously could have done more with it. But the thing is, the moment that I have made it and thought about it, the Green Scorpion already did a list of top 10 dragons in gaming, and honestly, with the exceptions of Deathwing and the dragon from Dark Souls, there's a lot of the dragons on the list that I would have listed on my list too, and even have argued kind of the same way. Oh, hi, Meadow. Jason, you are disappointed that everyone who did top 10 dragons ignores Earth Dragon from Sonic and the Black Dragon and the Black Knight. Well, that fight was a fun challenge. Oh, Meadow. Oh, you subbed? Ah, you don't happen to be Isaiah Months, was it? If it's you, I just saw that you subbed quite a while ago. Welcome, and thanks for subbing. Even though I haven't really been quite active here for quite a while, but hey, any new people is quite welcome. Welcome to the club, Meadow. But yeah, it's sorry that I haven't really included a dragon like that, Jason, but I haven't played a lot of Sonic games in general. I mean, I played Sonic for the Saturn, but that was only because my childhood neighbor had it. I sound cute. Oh, thank you, Meadow Meadow. And it's okay if you found my accent funny. I have heard that one before. I'm not a native English speaker. I understand, but yeah. Um, if, but Jason, my mate. Oh fuck! Another time for healing, Jason. Top 10 zombies. I think that the Green Scorpion have done that already, but it could be interesting. But I don't think that the 3D Blast R and Jam. Yeah, sorry to say it. It was the original. Okay, it might not have been for the Saturn, but it was the original Sonic that I played. It was at least on a Sega on a Sega console. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was the Saturn, but I'm not sure. It was before I was even 10. And I'm 27, so that's quite a while ago. The only other Sonic game that I've played is Unleashed on the PS2, and I actually like that game. Meadow, yes, I did get noticed when you subbed. If you are Isaiah Munch, so to speak. Oh, okay. Then it was most probably a Genesis game. That depends. Master of Darkness. Is that a Genesis or a Mega Drive game? Because that was also a game on that console that my neighbor had at that time. But here we have finally an option for me to catch another Pokemon aside from Rush. Oh shit! Before you become trash, Rush, you better go in for a lot of rolls. But yeah, I remember with my neighbor, I also played Master of Darkness, which is kind of like a Castlevania style game where the first boss is literally Jack the Ripper. Never heard of it. Sure, I do understand if no one has heard about it, because it is kind of obscure and it haven't really been talked about since that era. Because the Cooper? What do you mean, Cooper? Oh. Okay, Meadow. Once I am done with this little Pokemon here, I'll edit and speed up the text, okay? But first off, what do you think this little Zigzagoon should be called? In my first nuzlocke that I didn't stream, I called my first Zigzagoon for Toffee. So I had a Snuffy and a Toffee. A Zigzaggy. Okay. Stream has spoken. I'll call it Zigzaggy. Ah, yeah, of course, Sly Cooper. With the exception of the Thieves in Times game, I have played every single game in the Sly Cooper franchise. And I think that Miss Rupee, Dimitri, that all of those could basically be considered for pity villains in regard to that, in regard to your previous question. I'm sorry, Jason, I didn't get that earlier. Fuck, I'm sorry about it. Sorry, I didn't get it earlier. But now I got myself a Rush, a Zigzaggy, and a Yawn of Laws. So I think it would be quite well to go on. So Quiet, I don't think Quiet is one that gives too many benefits or disadvantages. Quiet. I think that Quiet is for a boost in special attack, but a decrease in speed, if I'm not mistaken. Sure, I have other Pokemon games. I just booted up this Pokemon game because it was one of the Pokemon games that I haven't played. On this console that I'm streaming off right now, I have red, blue, yellow, gold, silver, crystal, emerald. I don't think that I have leaf green or fire red or sapphire ruby, but I can get them. I have a rescue team, a mystery dungeon rescue team, and I became the awakened clockwork because his wings were too small to fly. Meadow, I'm sorry to disappoint if you wanted this to be on console really, but yeah, this is emulator that I'm doing over TV that I'm capturing with a Elgato capture card. Virtual Boy Advance and the movement would be a little difficult since I'm playing this over the NES Mini. So it is a console I'm playing over, really. And back at Jason, yeah, Apache could actually also be counting as a petty villain in that regard. But petty villain, yeah. But pity villain, that depends on your definition right back again. I need to reread your definition. Pity villain means a character who the games consider a villain but has tragic motive for their actions. Yeah, and in that regard, Apache could easily be considered a petty villain for that matter. No shit. I would totally consider Apecho to be a pit villain in that regard, but in the game, Apache is really a lot of a background character. I know that he's the head of the Claw Gang, and he's supposed to be the big bag that gathers all of the clockwork parts to resurrect clockwork into the big bad evil, just in order to get rings, but he hasn't had a lot of impact otherwise. I mean, if he didn't gather all of the pieces, then all the other Clock Gangs would just have considered that, would just have continued their operation unhindered. I mean, otherwise it would just have been, if it wasn't for either Apecho or Sly Cooper, then the Claw Gang would just have considered their operation unhindered. Just like if Sly Cooper hadn't destroyed Dimitri's operation for counterfeiting money, or Apecho didn't get the toll fillers otherwise, then Dimitri would have continued to counterfeit money, because he wasn't appreciated by the arts world to be a true artist. If Roshan wasn't stopped by Sly Cooper, nor got his part gathered by either, what was her name? The Spider Lady. The one from Prague that used the eye for hypnosis sake. If Roshan didn't get both the wings and the two pieces of the heart stolen by either Sly Cooper or by her or by Apecho, then he would just have continued with his unquote spice. Oh, fuck. That's a close one, Zigzaggy. Holy shit. But back to the train of thought. If neither she, Sly, or Apecho had got the hearts and the rings, then Roshan would just have continued his unquote spice operation, which really for a kids game would be more like a drug operation. And if I'm almost tempted to call her Constita or something like that, but that wouldn't be right. If she didn't get her eyes stolen, clockwork eyes stolen either by Sly or by Apecho, then she would have continued her experiments on the prisoners for rehabilitation. And if Bichon didn't get the claws and the lungs stolen by either Sly or Apecho, then he would just have eradicated every single tree of the north and just dominated everything there, ruined the ecosystem there, because he was still stuck in the past of the gold rush. So yeah, I would say that I'm pretty knowledgeable of at least that game. As I said, I have played every single Sly game with the exception of Thieves in Time. So I can speak at least a little bit about it. And yeah, Meadow, I know that it for a lot of people is easier to stream on the computer and talk through there, but even though I have a streaming device on my streaming software on my computer, it's not something that have been easy for me to stream with, nor even actually record footage with. If you saw my edition for least favorite boss battle countdown a lot time ago, where I talked about what's his name and the undead wyvern thing, I can't even remember right now. That footage was used with the footage of that game was used with the software that I had on that computer right now, and it's not particularly good. You see, it has really low frame rate, and it's lacking in so many ways. It might be the computers that I've run it on, but I'm not going to stream on a computer unless I have 1000% security and certainty that type of issue will not occur. So for the time being, I'm just streaming it from console, TV to computer, and so far I don't think that there have been any issues with it. At least not in frame rate. At least not in anything else. But yeah, sorry, it's a little bit late. I'll speed up the text. Battle scene, battle style. It is a nuzlocke, so it should be set. But yeah. Fast, set, yep. Yeah, zigzaggy and rush should at least be level 5. I continue. Or what do you guys think? I'm still enjoying quite a bit of alcohol here. I have a orange juice and gin here, which is, I think it's 50-50 gin and orange juice, and it's already on the last cup after I used an entire bottle of it. So yeah, I'm a little bit drunk right now. I'm still sober enough to understand everything that's happening on screen, and I'm still sober enough to understand everything written to me in chat. And Jason, you just wrote something to me. How nice of you. If you're willing to not limit the pity villains list to just games, there is a TV character who could work. Cell tracks from Power Rangers Dino Thunder. He only serves Nuzlocke because he almost died in an experiment, and Nuzlocke rebuilt his body. That could be a possibility, yeah. But if you know my style right, which also pretty much goes for the pity villains list in general, I would like to have a lot of research and a lot of baggage to go to justify the positions on my list. So in kind of that way, I think it would be interesting for me to read some more of Shakespeare's works, because so far I've only read Macbeth, and a lot of those villains I think I would be able to consider as petty villains, at least with the underling of Hamlet's brother and the villain who ultimately ends up killing Macbeth could be considered petty villains as such. But what the hell, I could also easily just go as like what I did with most hated characters and most cruel moments, and just go what I feel like. It could be anyway, really. So maybe, I could go that way. Before that, he was a human scientist known as Terrence Smith, who everybody called Smitty. Possible. The thing is that the last time I saw Power Rangers was it was in 1977, and that was 21 years ago. Oh, and Zigzaggy Zigzaggy just got a new move! Yay! And Rush is on the new move. Sorry. But yeah. It's actually one thing that I'm kind of been meaning to do a kind of rant on, is with the aspect of science in media, because a lot of it have been really super hyper unethical and really supernatural to a certain distinct. I mean, sure, it enforces the necessity for limits for scientists, yes, but if you are a scientist and if you are anything within any kind of science, pretty much like I am myself, then you already know that there are immense limits to science, to what science you can perform, mostly from a ethical point of view, especially when it comes to human experimentation. That's like, you have to have their consent, you have to make sure they don't feel pain, you have to make sure that the effect is not to cause pain or anything that gives them any kind of handicap later on, and you have to make sure that they don't get hurt or any pain afterwards. It's not like it's not like you can't like say that the goal of a project is to examine how much pressure should be to break a human leg while it's still in the body, because the goal is then to break a human leg while it's still in the body, and that's unethical because you're applying pain to the human body and you are giving a long-term pain and disability to a person. But it's almost like scientists in media are willing to go that far, and hence why they are so villainous. and that's a bit that I've been willing to talk about, and in that regard I've also been quite willing to make a list about top 10 scientists in gaming, especially with the viewpoint of let's get scientists who are actually ethical. Before that, he was the reason why he blames his misfortune is because he did a life-threatening experiment on his body due to known as. Jason, you explained quite well my reasoning behind why I wanted to do a rant and a top 10 on scientists. If I ever get the option to see more of the Power Rangers franchise, I would love to. Really, I would love to, but most of the Power Rangers franchise that came to this country pretty much only came to this country about 20 years ago, 22 years ago, and it hasn't really been kicking up a lot like how it's been in the subcultures in America, or how it's been with the Sentai culture in Japan, for that matter. And yes, I said Sentai, not hentai. So I'm not referring to porn. Sorry, it's just one easy one to quote like that. Don't blame me. Blame me or Nicky Bridge for that one. But yeah. Okay, but how was Dayu changed or got her life wrecked like that? And yeah. As a munch, Medo, I am willing to go streaming at least once a week, no problem about that. I will also continue this nuzlocke, no problem about that. Oh yeah, I can run. Fuck, I forgot I can run! I can run! But it's still just going to be this over console emulation like that. Don't worry, I have a lot of games that I can play on it like this. I have like a few of the Heroes of Might and Magic handheld games on this too. I didn't even know for a long time I didn't even know that there was Heroes of Might and Magic handheld games on this that you can get your hands on like this, but apparently you can't, and I could have gotten my hands on a wing goal instead of a Zigzagoon. Well, maybe next time. But yeah. No matter where you are, Jason, Meadow, Nicholas, Nancy, Power Santos, I am so glad that you're here on the stream, because I can interact with you so much and I'm enjoying myself. so much just reading your comments in the chat like this. Really, I'm not even lying on this. I enjoy this. It gives me something that I can actually talk about. As I said earlier, I understand why Team 4-star and people like that have more people on the stream when they stream, because it gets lonely when you're just streaming yourself. Jason, because a girlfriend got Decker, almost died in a house fire, incinerator, offered to spare him in exchange for Tahir, agreeing to eternity as a nuzlocke, but he tricked her by letting him live with no memory. Where was it that Scuttle was supposed to be substituted? Sorry that I'm a little bit what's the word? We cry a lot, but I just don't know where they're supposed to be. But nevertheless, all of course, Jason. If I get myself a Wingle, yes, I killed the Wingle because I already got a Zigzagoon from that route. But if I get a Wingle, I will call it Scuttle. Pure and simple, no shit, I will call it Scuttle. Cross my heart and hope to die. I will call it Scuttle. Let's see if I can get myself a Scuttle here. Got myself a Scuttle. It doesn't look like I can get myself a Scuttle on this route. Okay. And now I'm all out of orange juice and gin. So now I got beer. It's gonna be a fun night for me. Don't worry, I'm not alcoholic. It's very rare that I drink like this. But call it my old Viking genes. I can actually take it. Wiggler. Yes, Mario reference. Wiggler. Yes. The Wurmple will be called Wiggler. Let's see, GGG. L. Oh, that's a little too many. And there. Bingo. Wiggler. There you go, Jason. You got yourself another Pokemon. Better go heal that one in the Pokemon Center. For pity villains in gaming, I'm actually also tempted to put the actual villain from Dragon Quest IV, Sentinel of the Starry Skies, in that list, to be honest, because he only got villainous because his lover got killed by an empire whom he got enslaved of. So his plot would also only got kinda in the same way villainous like that. I would say, but maybe not. Think it is. What do you think? Yes, I know who you reference. I'm pretty sure it's the big worm, that it's the big caterpillar that's reoccurring in the Mario franchise. That got a little bit of a flower on its head and that's usually yellow but turns bright red when he's enraged. If not, then I might have misunderstood your reference. Fair enough, I got that reference right. Yay! I still know my references. And a new trainer got on my nerve. Your guts. Okay, a Puccina and up against Wiggler. Let's see, you are Dark type and I should be quick to switch you out if you need it. Especially after a little bit of howling. Oh no, just what I was about to feel. Let's just switch out to howl a little bit. So maybe he could take a little. Please take him over. That's going to hurt. Now get out. Lord of Lords! No, wait, I said the name wrong. Lord of Lols! Lord of Lol! Mojo Jojo, Mojo Jojo was I'm not sure if the new Powerpuff Girl canon have done something weird about him, or the Powerpuff Girl C have done something weird with him, but in the original he was already bad before he got mutated like that. So he only became a villain because he was neglected, because he was fired, really. Or if it wasn't for the professor actually firing him from the job as his assistant. And yes, I just healed myself 2 times in a row. That's interesting. What movie are you referring to, Jason? Because the only Powerpuff Girls movie I can recall is the musical, and there we don't really explore Mojo Jojo's backstory. So what's the title of that movie? I'm really interested in seeing that one. I've only seen the only thing of Mojo Jojo's backstory I've seen is in one of the episodes of the series. The Powerpuff Girls origin story film. Okay, I will have to look that one up one time. It sounds interesting. No shit, it sounds interesting. Because in the original show it was nothing more like, you acted like shit, I got new assistants, you're fired. So if it's not that, so what you wrote was not the title but the abridged summary? So the film is not called the Powerpuff Girls origin story film, but it's something different. It's just called the Powerpuff Girls movie. Isn't that the musical? Isn't that the musical movie where they basically implement socialism in Townsville, where the gnome-like character erases all villains from the town, but implements a totalitarian system based on superficial peace, and basically erodes every single character's individuality instead? Oh yeah, that makes sense actually, that it's a Band X episode, because it did kind of... Yeah, I understand why it's banned, but yeah. Let's see, what can I write it down on? Okay, I can just take a screenshot. Okay, there you are. Then I will be sure to try and seek it out and see if I can find it and see that movie if I get the chance. Thanks a lot, Jason. Jason! If you get the Rain reference. Hey, Wiggler got to level 5! And got Poison Sting! I would be tempted to ask where you find those things, little bug catcher, but it is a wormhole, so I shouldn't be surprised. I should be able to borrow it from my library. Yeah, Jason, I'm not sure what nationality you are, but I'm a Dane. The media that you have access to is not something that I automatically have access to. For example, I kinda like One Piece, but the One Piece anime have never been shown here, and have never really given access to in my region. Neither have another anime that I like, Full Metal Alchemist, Brotherhood. That's another one that I like, but I haven't had access to it either, because it's regional for American and Japanese only. Spoony part. You mean Spoony? Oh yeah, Spoony. Oh my god, I was a subscriber of Spoony once, but that's kind of why I want to interact with people and not ban people of these streams, because he was really big once. I really liked his reviews once. I liked what he did once, but oh fuck, he didn't attack. But all of a sudden he just started to doing these bland let's plays with no interactions, no speech, and every single time someone was even thinking about writing something in the chat room, he was just banning them out alright, and he was a shit show, really, in the end. I really liked what he used to do, but I hate what he became. And all of you who watch this stream, I know I haven't been really good at uploading anything at all in quite a long while, but if I ever become like that, you have my permission to call me out, and call me out loud, proud, and in my face, because that is not a route that I ever want to walk down on. Ever. And if I ever find myself walking down that path, I will regret it for the rest of my life. Leo the King of the Mystic Soul. Okay. I'll be sure to look that one up once I'm done with this stream. If I'm not gone to bed by that time, so to speak. What do you mean by Nightwing? I did? Which one did I kill? Wasn't it just a trainer that I killed? Yeah, wasn't it just a trainer that I killed that bluebird from? Or was that a wild Pokemon? If it was a wild Pokemon, then I just burned off this area. If not... It was a wild Tailor. Shit. Well, then I just burned out this area. Fuck. Okay, that's one on me. I'm sorry about that one. I generally thought that that was just another trainer. If I see another Tailor, then I will call it Bluebird Paths. But if it ends up becoming a Winkle instead, then I end up calling it Scuttle. Just like you said, Jason. Damn it, Lord of Laws! Where are your fire moves? Seriously? Where are your fire moves? Where are needed? Oh, of course you're not high enough level for it. Sure. Oh! Hola! Alberit? Is that right? Alberit? Alberit 1003? Hello? I see you. I see you coming, Alberit. Alberit. I'm just not sure if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. But welcome to the stream. Welcome to the Nuzlocke. First episode. And so far I've only been killed off one area because I unfortunately slaughtered Tailor. But before anything else happens, I better visit a Pokemon Center. Okay, I can see I've already been going on for 2 hours now, and it's already past 1 o'clock, so I think I'm gonna continue a half an hour and then I'm going to bed. It's getting pretty late here. Is it okay for you guys? Or do you want me to stream just longer than that? Yeah, Jason, I don't really get that either, but on the other side, it is AI, and just because it has the name intelligence in it, it's not always guaranteed to be intelligent. Just ask every single creationist. I'm sorry, Albert, but I don't understand Spanish or Portuguese. If you can write it what you want to, it is in Spanish because you ended in Español. If you can translate it to English, then I would be more than happy to read and answer whatever you want to say, but at the current time, I can't say or answer anything. I'm sorry. Oh, hi, Father! I haven't seen you for 13 years! And I'm still just 10! Well, if it isn't Alex, so you're all finished moving in. I'm surprised that you managed to get here by yourself. Sorry. It's hard on the voice for that one. And Albert, I'm thankful that you subscribed to me, but I still don't understand what you're trying to write. So now I also got hiccups. I'm surprised that you managed to get here by yourself. Oh, I see. You have your Pokemon. I guess that you're going to become a Pokemon trainer like me, Alex. Just like I abandoned you and your mother. That's great news. I'll be looking forward to it. I'd like to get a Pokemon, please. You're... Oh, right. You're Wally, right? I'm going to stay with my relatives. Oh, sorry, it's... Well... I'm going to stay with my relatives in Venedov's town. I thought I would be lonely by myself, so I wanted to take a Pokemon along, but I never caught a Pokemon before. I don't know how. I see. Alex, you heard that right? Go with Wally and make sure that he safely catches a Pokemon. Wally, here, I will loan you my Pokemon. Wally receives a Zigzagoon. Yeah, Georgia, I can understand, is quite a difficult one that I have been tackling before, at least in the in the 6th gen games, granted it was the first time it was introduced, yes, so I can understand that. If you went with a ice type, a fast sweeper ice type, you will be able to hit it quite easily. Okay, Jason. I have not beaten Emerald yet, but if it is like the Sapphire and Ruby games, then you first have to go underwater in the caverns and awaken the ancient Pokemon, and then you have to go back to Sotopolis City to go into the cavern of the ancients and then face the ancient Pokemon, and then after facing that ancient Pokemon you can then go to face Watson, I think it's called. No, it's not Watson. What? It's the last water type. Or are you referring to the? No, is there even a water type in X and Y? I don't think there is. It's been quite a long time. Ah, damn it. I did it! It's my Pokemon! Alex, fake! It's almost hard doing his voice than it is doing his father's. Yeah, that. Jason, when you played Pokemon Crystal, did you also go to the Dragon's Cave behind the Dragon Gym? Because as far as I can understand it, there's a special event that you need to go through, at least what I can gather from Gold and Silver, that you need to go through in Crystal in order to get in order to get the Dragon Badge. In order to get the Dragon Badge that lets you use the Waterfall move. If you did that, then I don't know what the problem is. If you didn't do that, then that's the issue. So did it work out? Yes, thank you, yes, it did. Here's your Pokemon back. Alex, thank you for coming along with me. You too, why I'm able to catch my Pokemon. I promise I'll take really good care of it. Oh, my mom's waiting for me, so I have to go. Bye, Alex. Yeah, yeah, that sounds a little bit odd, Jason, but it is not implausible because Gen 2 was so shortly after Gen 1, so it still could have quite a number of bugs in it. But yeah, I'm thankful that you say it, because that's at least something that I have to keep in mind when I'm going to go play Pokemon Crystal Nuzlocke. So thanks for letting me know that at least. Now, Alex, if you want to become a strong trainer, here's my advice. Head for Rosborough City, beyond this town. There you should challenge the gym leader, Roxanne. After her, go on to all the Pokemon gyms and defeat their leaders. Collect badges from them. Understood? Of course, I'm the gym leader too. You'll battle one day, Alex, but that's only after you become stronger. Well, thanks, Dad. So, yeah. Yeah, I didn't expect that one either, Jason. For those of you watching, Jason just said that Arceus is such a big deal in the Pokemon universe. I didn't expect it to be a normal type, and I agree. I wouldn't have said them to be a normal type. In fact, I would more likely have said them to be kind of similar type to Mew, since Mew is said to be the genetic ancestor to every single Pokemon in existence, whereas Arceus is supposed to be the god to all things, to everything in the universe, even Pokemon. So just having been a normal type is a little bit odd, but given that he is able to blend his type with depending on what plates you're able to give him, it's actually not all that implausible. So he is a little more flexible than that. And in fact, I have actually also thought about doing a little bit of a possible research of making a genetic-like ancestral research on the of the Pokemon in the Pokemon universe, but based on their movesets instead of physiology, because there have already been made analysis of Pokemon physiology in real life. But the problem is that research with physiology, as in like, does it have a crooked beak? Does it have like slim neck? Does it have like a fan-like tail? Does it swim in water? Does it have gills? That sort of things have been proven to be not too great of a ancestral marker in a greater scheme of things, whereas genetic markers have been more truthful in that matter. So, which means that genetic markers, genetic conservative regions, genetics in general, have been proven to be more truthful in determining how different organisms relate to each other. For example, that's been a type of otherwise vulture, which in only physiological terms would have been placed together with the vultures, but through genetic analysis would have been placed closer with the storks rather than the vultures. And if we go for genetic analysis, we also have the conclusion that the whales actually are descendants of mammals who walked on land but later migrated back to sea, which is actually quite interesting and shows that creatures more similar to that of the bovines that we have today than anything else. So I have been thinking about doing something like that, but with Pokemon moves, because the genetics construction, the phylogenetic trees, is of such that shows that genetic distance between organisms in a hierarchy is actually a method that is shown in machine learning before, where we see where we observe the distances between observations. So what I think is, if I compare the move pools that a Pokemon is naturally able to learn and compare it with other Pokemon which are naturally able to learn such move pools, and compute the percentile-wise distance between each of them, then I would be able to compute the similarly move pool distance between them, and from that make a what is called in machine learning hierarchical agglomerative clustering tree out of it, which is quite similar to that of a phylogenetic tree in its presentation. So being able to do that type of clustering, present it as a tree, and then say, how do each of the different Pokemon relate to each other? That could be quite interesting to show. It could also be quite interesting to see how they relate to each other in that way, because it is quite easily the way that we can actually do Pokemon genetics, because otherwise we can't. But it might just be some ramblings from a drunk, kind of tired semi-scientist like myself. What do you think? Oh, that's quite the number of questions I got to skip all by my ramblings line there. I hope you understood what I was talking about there. Yeah, Albeit, I'm sorry, I still can't speak Spanish or understand or read Spanish, so the only thing I could get from you would be the I'm sorry bits, and that's okay. I'm just not that well versed in a lot of other language. Oh fuck, that was a lot of damage. I mean, I can speak English fluently, I can speak Danish fluently, I can speak German quite fluently, I can speak some French, and I can speak some Russian. That's pretty much my limit to where it is. And with Jason... Oh hey, Wiggler got to level 6! And Rush got to level 6 too. Shit. But yeah, yeah, I can understand that the Flash would... Okay, that's going to be a couple of Howl rounds right there for Rush. But yeah. Yeah, Butterfree has access to Flash, which would lower accuracy for any opposing Pokemon. Sure. But does Butterfree actually learn it naturally? if it does learn Flash naturally, then there shouldn't be too much. Then I can fully understand what you're talking about, Jason. Then it should be quite easy to just go full in, flash, 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 flash my dong, depending if it's a male or a female Butterfree. Flash my dong and just say, you can't hit me, you can't hit me. But otherwise you have to find Flash and then further on. But yeah, in this game you can actually get Flash. So, but yeah, I can't get a Butterfree. So, yeah, that's gonna be a problem. The screen flare. Isn't the screen flare thing just the Flash thing? What is the difference between the unquote screen flare thing and Flash? Could it be double team? But it, as far as I know, it doesn't learn double team. So maybe Flash. So maybe you mean Flash. But really? Oh hey, fisherman! What you doing? I just got Magic Cup, and it's level 9, so it should be safe. It only got Splash. It only got Splash. It only got Splash. It only got Splash. So yeah, I've rambled a little bit about some of my things. Back to petty villains. Possible petty villains otherwise. No, Digimon universe doesn't have any. I don't think the Heroes of Might and Magic has one either. Dragon Age doesn't have one either. I already mentioned Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest. Shantae doesn't have any. Jason, I'm going to return with you on that one another time because I can't think of any. Yeah, but kinda agree with you on that, Sean Bison, because yeah, his actions 200 years ago would have been quite understandable, but not anymore. In the modern day, he would just be a eco-terrorist more than anything. But would that be more of a misplaced sense of morality or a nostalgia trip? You did also say earlier that arpeggio, where it shoots a bright light from its wings. I think it's still Flash that you're talking about there, but I can't be sure. Maybe not. Once I get around to Leaf Green, Fire Red, I'll be sure to check. And new Pokemon! Rush! Sigum! Sigum Rush! Holy shit! I was not surprised. That one came right out of nowhere. I'm sorry, Jason. That one surprised me. But at least not as much as... Yeah. It surprised me. It surprised me a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, we finally got our first ever in a nuzlocke. And his name was Rush. Rest in peace, Rush, and let angels fly thee to thy rest. Rest in peace, beloved Rush. You shall be missed. But I think that this place right here is a okay place to stop for now. So I'm gonna stop this stream and I'm gonna just call it night. Thank you all for following me on this quite entertaining ride in my adventures of Pokemon Emerald Nuzlocke. Thank you for following me, thank you for entertaining me all rise, and see you next week, same place.